Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Stoneblock 2. In the last episode, we were working on some Wither stuff, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the chickens. We are getting really close to being done with all the chickens. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more chickens to get. And just a few others to get 10. And this is all the ones I have so far. These are all the ones that I have like possession of. This page is all 10. And yeah, we're getting close to the point where I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and actually build and have our farm set up so that we can get all these lovely resources. But today we are not going to build. We are going to finish up our fix our problems with our wither spawner, which we built in here. We were having the issue of it was working just fine. It would summon the wither just fine with our phantom faces back here, but it would try to summon in another one almost immediately, and the soul sand especially would get exploded, and that's just not good. But I do have the filter set up. This was pretty easy to do. You just right click the item filter, put what you want in it, and we're just having it pick up all of the stuff that the withers will drop. The withers do have a couple of good things. So not only are we going to get Nether Stars, but we're also going to get Supremium Essence, which is really nice. So we're going to fix that in just a moment. And the other thing we were trying to do was use a Draconic Evolution mob spawner, these stabilized mob spawners, to summon in wither skeletons so that we could grind them up and get the skulls so that we can summon more withers. I've set up a little bit of storage. This storage is not on priority, which what that means is the system doesn't want to put stuff in here. And so we have 164 wither skulls, but we actually have more than that in the system. Because yeah, the priority thing. We have 233. I've been busy trying to get more of these. So this is the wither skeleton's soul. I love the googly eyes. And we were trying to get this to work to summon in the wither skeletons with the stabilized mob spawner, but for whatever reason, it just wouldn't spawn them. And so what we're going to probably do is we're gonna break this spawner, and I think I considered putting it here. So if the spawner was there, the wither skeletons would spawn. They might take a little bit of suffocation damage, but that's perfectly acceptable. However, they get stuck right here because they're 3 blocks tall. They would hit the spawner and not be able to get around. So we're gonna have to put another fan in, and then I also considered putting it right here. And that would also have the problem, but it would have the problem for all of the mobs. But it should always spawn. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it on the more guaranteed spawning position. And we'll just make another mob fan and get that set up. We're just going to put it on one side. So it's going to be here. And then it's going to need to have a range. Let's see, these guys have a range of I can't read it with can't I get rid of, I don't know how to get rid of that anymore. It has what, 4 range on those. These, what's the area these guys have? Show area. Okay, so they're just a 3x3, but they have a range of, okay, so we should we're gonna need to have, we'll do 1 range upgrade for those. I think that will work, and then we're gonna need to get all the upgrades for this. We're gonna need the beheading upgrade, which we're starting to make last time as well. So let's fix the wither skeleton problem first. I did get Reaper 5 on my sword, by the way, and it still took a ton of kills to actually do anything with the wither skeletons. We're going to need a piece of dirt, and we're going to need a mob fan. These are not too difficult to get. We just need some stone slabs and a redstone block. No problems there. We're also going to need a lever, which apparently we don't have. And then we're going to want a distance modifier. Just a singular one. And let's get the lever so that it actually works and we can turn it on and off. And that is probably going to be it of what we need to do. I still have my clipboard from the chickens. That's fine. So we're going to put that there. We're going to put the stabilized spawner here. And doesn't really matter. I can't remember. Okay, that is the way we need to put that. And then we put the distance. I need the rest of my endstone bricks. That is something I'll have to go grab. But we should be able to put the wither skeleton soul in there. And let's go grab the bricks. We will close up the spawner and hopefully everything works. That is the plan anyways. So this is going to be dangerous. I guess. How do I want to do this? There are 4 torches. We do this one, that one, and that is a wither skeleton. Is it going to spawn any more in? I guess we'll find out. So let's just turn on the fans. And we'll get everything. Cool, it's spawning in wither skeletons now. So all we need to do now is get the mob masher to be fully upgraded. And that should be fine. It should start picking up everything. Don't need the cobblestone or the torches in there. And everything should be filtered out into the storage system. I have void upgrades on all that. So wither skeletons are solved, presumably. So let's go ahead and get that upgrade. So the first thing we're going to do is the beheading upgrade. This is probably the most important one. We're going to need a lot of gold nuggets. Let's get a couple hundred, because why not? And if we do mob mashing upgrade, we're going to need 10 of these. We can make 8. And unfortunately, I don't think our storage system over here, which by the way, I expanded it to have a little bit more space. I don't know that there's anything else that we're going to get from the loot boxes, but if there is, we will have that ready. So we have 2 more helmets. So we're going to need to make a few more helmets. We're going to need 4 in total, so we need 3 more of each. 1, 2, and 3. And the iron, 1, 2, and 3. So that should be 10 mob masher upgrades. And then we're going to go ahead and make the smite upgrades. 10 of these. Not too bad. And then what's the sharpness require? Iron swords. That one's annoying, but we could go ahead and do that. I have, I think, 1. Oh, there's the other torch. So we can put those in there. So we have 1 sharpness. Let's go ahead and max out sharpness as well. Just so it kind of kills everything immediately. And I don't think we're going to do the Bane of Arthropods. So we're going to need 36 swords. 3, 6. Yeah, let's just fill up our inventory. And let's just go ahead and type in sword. And we need to get 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be exactly enough. And it is. Perfect. Okay. So with this, everything should be good. We should get a healthy supply of wither skeleton skulls. It should kill things pretty quickly. We don't want to put fire aspect because no reason to. With the sharpness and the smite, should kill everything pretty much instantly. And that is just kind of convenient and nice. So that is going to fill up with stuff. So at this point, we just need to fix our wither spawning thing. And what we're going to do and how we're going to do this is we're going to detect when there is a skull in here. When there is a skull in here, we're going to have a timer that sends 2 pulses delayed slightly. And that reminds me, is there a delay block? No, I looked that earlier. So we're going to need a timer, and we're actually going to use Project Red. And then we're going to need some sort of a... let's see. Actually, wood... What's the mod called? Oh, man, I am blanking on... what is this mod called again? RF Tools. I don't know why I forgot that one. RF Tools. This mod has some redstone stuff. Counter, logic gate, inventory checker, sensor, analog. But yeah, redstone is not my forte. I'm not the best at it. We are going to make a timer. This shouldn't be too difficult, but we're going to probably want to make it up here. Because some of this stuff we have to actually craft. So circuit plates are just stone smelted up. Let's just get a few. And we're going to make some conductive plates. We're going to make 3 of these. We're going to make a set of anodes, a cathode, and a pointer. So all pretty easy. And there is our timer. We're going to need a couple redstone torches. We're going to probably want a little bit of redstone itself. We're going to want some more redstone conduit. Because we have 4. We're going to probably want... I think 12 will be enough. And then the last thing we're going to want is this comparator. And that should be... Do we want to do special blocks for... Sure, we'll use stone bricks. Why not? Just to make the location of the redstone a little bit more obvious, because what we're going to do is pretty simple. We're going to put a comparator right here, reading off of this. Now, if there's an item in here, and I checked it for these guys, if there is an item in here, which this is on deactivation, so it just placed the torch. That was not smart on my part. So we're going to want to put all of them on pulse. We're going to want to make sure they're on pulse anyways. So we just need to right click with that. So if there is an item in here, there will be a signal. And we can take that signal. And I think what we can do is just do something like this. So if we put an item in here, a singular item, turns the torch off. Perfect. And then we can take this redstone and put it into a timer. And that will stop the timer. So we're going to want an interval of... Oh, how many seconds do we want to do? Actually, I have an idea. I think I know how we're going to do this. Okay. Let's get some lights in there. So what we're going to do is make another timer. We should be able to do that down here. So let's see. We need another set of anodes. We're going to need 3 more conductive plates, a pointer, and a cathode, and there is the second timer. So what we're going to do, let's see if we can get this to work. I have to think of how we're going to do this. So we have every 30 seconds, this sends a pulse, which then activates a timer for like 1 second to send another. So let's see. Actually, that's not going to work. I have to think about that. So I am going to cut away here. I'm going to figure out this redstone, and hopefully it'll be something that's relatively simple, and I don't have to like do too much work. But what we're going to end up doing is putting these redstone conduits, not like that. Don't hold shift click on all of them. So we're going to put these redstone conduits down here like so. And then what we can do is we can actually have different colors. And input, we can have, I guess the bottom ones can be brown input. And just to kind of keep things organized, and then we can have the top ones be input on black. And then we just separate the signal where we want redstone to go first and then second, and it should work just fine. So I'm going to figure out the redstone, and I'll be back once that's done. I think I have something. So I made another timer. That's not going to work. I made a sequencer, which is actually a really cool block, which I'll show you in just a second, but we need a repeater, and we're going to use Project Red's repeater, so we're going to need 2 cathodes. I made more circuit plates because I needed to. We might have the anodes, and then the conductive plate we will need. So there is the repeater, and then we're also going to make a pulse former. This is the other thing that's kind of important. So we need 2 of these. 1, 2. All right. So this should work, hopefully. So the sequencer, by the way, is basically something that sends out a signal in different directions. Okay, it was not displaying correctly at first. So it sends a signal out, and you can see that it just kind of goes back and forth. However, this is not something we can turn off. So that's not going to work. That would work otherwise, because what we could do is, if we could turn it off, if it had an input slot, we could just put it over here. We could have it right here, have the first one go here, and then the second one go off. I switched this around just to give me a little bit more room, because I think I want redstone to go into the conduits, and I had to make a little bit more conduits. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a repeater here. Let's actually move all of this back. One more. And then that should be fine. Okay. So we're going to put the timer right here. And the timer is going to be set to 30 seconds because I think that is plenty of time for a wither to spawn and then be killed. If it's not, we can adjust. It's not a problem. And then we're going to have a repeater here. And then we're going to have a pulse former here. And that is kind of the important thing. So it is shift that way. Okay. So we're going to have input. I did have to, I realized after I did it, these need to be on outputs, not inputs. The wire is outputting. This is inputs. So yeah, we're going to have it that way. And I'm not going to set these up because I want to demonstrate. In fact, we're going to send this down to like 10 seconds. So the idea, and let's see, let's put this on a longer delay. So the idea is we put an item in here, the comparator sees it and sends a signal, turning off this redstone torch, which turns off this signal, which allows the timer to start. The timer runs for its time, and then it sends a pulse out, and that pulse goes through the redstone conduit, and that's going to activate the soul sand That's the first thing. And then it's also going to activate this repeater. This repeater, I put it on a couple ticks. We might put it on a little bit more. We'll do like that. It doesn't matter. We can go pretty far. And the repeater is going to take that signal and delay it for that amount of time, and then send it out into this block. However, instead of just giving a pulse, it is going to send it out for the exact same amount of time once it stops receiving the signal. So basically that pulse is going to be repeated. It's just like a normal repeater in vanilla Minecraft. This one is just a little bit different, and it can work. It's a little bit longer delay you can have it on. But we can't just use this repeater because it's going to send a long signal to this, and I don't know what that's going to do. So we have this pulse former, which this, when it receives a redstone signal, sends out a pulse, and it will not do anything else until it stops receiving a signal and then receives another one. So presumably, let's set this to like, 10 seconds should be fine. If we put an item in here, it's not going to activate anything, but the timer goes off, and we should see redstone here go off, and then that's going to be delayed, and then a pulse there. That is exactly what we want. So we can set this to 30 seconds, and then we can set this guy to be input brown, and this one to be input black. And presumably, if we go grab a handful of wither skulls, which we have quite a few of, there's only one kind of concern with all this system, and that is there is no detection of if I put in a full stack, it might still continuously try to run. I don't know that that's that big of a deal, but if there's no soul sand, it would also break. But we're gonna see if this works. So it does take a little bit for. Hold up, something worked there. Let's just break these. It's easier. Extract. Oh, so I decided to put this back onto this chest, the direct like delivery of the skulls. So there, it should be fine. Hopefully I set up everything perfectly fine, and we're actually going to put in 3 more and see if this works. So we're going to have to wait for the timer because I do want the timer to be kind of, I do want a decently long timer just to give it plenty of time for the withers to spawn. But if this works, then I get to go make a bunch of oh no, it did not work. Okay, why didn't that work? I think I need more of a delay. And let's break that for just a second. Alright, so that is unfortunate. So it should have been fine, to be perfectly honest, but let's just try that again. And while we're waiting, let's go grab some stone so we can fix that. That was a little bit weird, but at the end of the day, we'll figure things out. We'll get it to work one way or another. And let's just see. See, because that was something that should have worked just fine otherwise. We do need to kind of account that there is going to be a little bit of a delay. And it still placed them. It placed these, and it also placed those. Oh, do we not want this to be strong signal? That might be what's making a problem. Alright, I'm going to let it keep running. And do we have vein miner? We do. I don't have much time. Okay. That is too long. But that worked. So we don't want these to be strong signals. So I do understand what was going on with that. So we can test this again. Should not be a problem. So basically, when this is a strong signal, this gets a redstone signal and it powers the blocks next to it. So this needs to be like probably there-ish. Will be fine. But that worked just perfectly fine. For the most part, there is a little bit of issue. One thing that we need to do is probably put, just in case, Infernium on the filter so it picks those up. And let's see if that will work completely this time. So the skulls are in there. We can walk away for a moment just to go put some stuff away. And yeah, I think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna do what we want it to do. So we'll have soul sand triggered, a little bit of delay, and then there is the wither. And we can definitely take 10 seconds off of that to make it a little bit faster. There is also the infinity boosters. Let's take that out for a second. Let it just go ahead and collect everything. And then I'll make sure that the filter gets everything that the wither can possibly drop. Like, you know, loot boxes and experience. Because these are things I kind of forgot about. Yeah. So that should be perfectly fine. And that is going to give us Nether Stars pretty easily. We just need to get more soul sand, which isn't the worst, and provide it with skulls. So that worked really well. Fairly simple solution, and it works. So that's all that matters. So what we're going to be doing with all these Nether Stars is fusion crafting. We need to make more wyvern. Let's see. Let's get rid of this stuff. We need to make more wyvern fusion crafting injectors, which requires more wyvern cores. That has all 9 draconium blocks, so I literally just need to make 9 draconium cores, or wyvern cores. So can we do that? We're still going to need some more draconium. So I will tell you guys what. I am going to make another cut here. You've seen me make these before. I'm going to go ahead and finish making all the wyvern tier crafters, and then we'll come back and finish up the episode by making an energy collector. Yeah, or condenser. I think that'll be good. So I will be right back once I have the wyvern stuff. The wyvern crafting injectors are completed. As you can see, I have all 10 of them. It wasn't too painful and actually didn't use up much of our power at all. This power system kept up just fine with those crafts. So now we get to do the more difficult thing of trying to make the energy condenser. Now this thing is very powerful, and if we can make 2 of them eventually, then that's all we'll ever have to do in the actual fusion crafting. We're going to make just 1 for now, so it is going to require 4 dark matter, and let's do the dark matter here. And then we're also going to be needing some red matter. We're going to need 4 red matter and that is going to require more dark matter, so I don't really have that quite yet. The alchemical chest goes in there, and then we are going to need a couple other things. So we're going to need a dirt chest, pretty easy to make, and we're going to need a crystal chest, which is a diamond chest surrounded by glass. There we go, that's what it's called. So we'll just make an iron chest, gold chest, diamond chest, and then the crystal chest. So all we need at this point is the red matter, and we're going to need 4 of these. So we need a red matter block, basically. We don't have it, so let's teach the system how to make those, because that's going to be much easier. Actually, maybe not, because here's the thing. We're getting close to the point in this series where we're just going to use EMC to make everything, and we don't have to worry about too much other things. The big thing is going to be just getting the resources, apart from cosmic ingots, which, or what are they called? Infinity ingots. There we go. That's what they're called. Infinity ingots, we're not going to be making those with EMC because those are really expensive. That's why we have the cows. And for the record, we have 17 buckets of molten infinity. We need to start doing something with that here soon. But what we're going to do, so if we need 4 of these, we're going to need 12 dark matter. And we're going to need just a bunch of Adrenalis fuel. So let's get, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of that. And then we'll just make a stack of those. And okay, so 4 stacks of Adrenalis fuel gives us a whopping, let's see, how many do we need? So we're going to need, we have 4, we're going to need 12, so we need 8 more blocks of diamond. And so every 4 stacks is 2, so we got 6. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough, or at least pretty close. And here's the thing, once we have the energy condenser, we don't really have to worry about making a lot of this stuff anymore. And then the dark matter. So there is all the dark matter that we need. And then we're just going to need 6 times 4. Let's just do something similar again. Or not, because we are completely out of coal. That is unfortunate. And I say that, but we're not. We're not even close to being out of coal. So I believe we can turn that back into coal. And we'll just need to go grab some more coal, which we are also getting from our wither skeletons. This was very expensive on the coal front. Or we're not. This is considered a player kill. By the way, I had to alter this. There were wither skeletons standing on top of the spawner. So I just put some glass there. Seemed to solve that problem pretty quickly. Okay, we've already used all the coal that was in there. Let's see. Do we have any coal from over here? That is a question I'm not too sure of the answer. That is eggs. Doesn't look like we have any coal. Okay. That is unfortunate. Unless we can get some more dark matter or something. So this, let's just see how close we are. So Philosopher's Stone, because math is difficult sometimes. So we have 8 Aeternalis fuel, which is enough for 1. And that was a quest, apparently. I didn't realize we'd never made any red matter. That is going to give us a random reward, which is some more epic bacon. That is actually nice. So we're going to need just a bunch more coal. Now, the question is there an easy way to get coal? We can smelt up coal ore, crushed coal ore. Do we have any coal ore? No. That doesn't help us. So, pulverizing coal ore. I mean, wither skeletons, obviously. Pulverized coal we can then cook back up. Chickens obviously would work as well. Not really seeing too much that's going to help us all that much. But I guess we could always go to the mining dimension and go mine some coal, or we can get... Do I have a bunch of gravel? I do. Let's just get a bunch of gravel sifting. And that's efficiency. That doesn't even have any enchants. This has fortune on it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. We don't have enough coal. So we just need a few more. I can speak. We just need a few more of these red matters, but they are really expensive. So let's see. This episode is getting a little bit long. However, I do want to get the energy condenser because that is going to be a game changer. So you know what? I am gonna go mining. I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna go mining. So I'm also gonna do the math to figure out exactly how much coal we need. But it is going to be multiple stacks. So it is 4 for alchemical. So 16 for Mobius, and then yeah, so it is a stack per Aeternalis, and we are going to need 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so that's 16 stacks of coal. That is what we need. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So most of my inventory needs to be full of coal. 6, so 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's how much we need. And that's how much we have. So we're actually not that far off, but I'm going to go mine. And I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. There's also a lot of animals that have spawned down here. I kind of dislike that. I just murder them all when they decide to spawn here. But yeah, I'm going to go mine for coal. I think that'll be the easiest way. There is the mining dimension. It exists. We can use it. And then I will be back once I have the Aeternalis fuel and... Oh, we got a chicken soul. Once I have the Aeternalis fuel that we need for the rest of the red matters, we'll make the energy condenser, and then that will be the episode. So I will be back once I have the coal. Surprisingly, that did not take that long. The mining dimension has a ton of coal, and I have the 16 Aeternalis fuel that we need so that we can make the last 3 red matters. And with this, we'll never have to do anything like that ever again, because we just put these guys here. Now, important question, how much power? 5 million RF. If we look over here at our storage system, we have 52 million RF stored. So I think we'll be okay. So we can go ahead and start and make our first energy condenser. Now, this thing, like I said, is super powerful, and eventually we'll have to do this again, but that's not that big of a deal. I'm hoping that by the time I'm done with the chickens, we'll get another dark matter, so I don't have to make any more of those. But you'll see what I mean when we get this guy done. Also, for the record, I believe the Wyvern fusion crafting injectors are faster. As you progress in the tiers, they do get faster. But most of the time, what they require, like what they're required to make, requires more stuff. But this energy condenser, we can upgrade later. That is going to be important. Not anytime soon. That is a lot of expensive things. However, this thing is super powerful. So what we do is let's find something that we want. We don't have any more dark matter. That is unfortunate. You know, draconium. Draconium's pretty cool. So what we do is we put a piece of draconium there. And then we find things to sacrifice. So let's just look at... nope. I want to sort by the number of items we have. And what's something we have a lot of that has a decent EMC value? Let's see. Ender pearls are pretty good. Emeralds are really good. And we can just let's throw a stack of emeralds in here. And it will slowly, that is the unfortunate thing about the level 1 energy condenser, but it will slowly take the 16, or I guess it's the 1,048,576 EMC and convert it into the draconium at the cost of 8,190 each. And we can just throw this stuff in, and it is going to take anything we put in here and turn it into draconium. So, yeah, chickens aren't really that necessary anymore. And it does remember that it has EMC, I do believe. So if we wanted to get the remainder out, we could put something in that's a lot cheaper and maybe something we need. So there's 16 EMC in there still. We could put just sticks to get everything out. But that's fine. Whatever. So yeah, the energy condenser is a pretty powerful block. Now, here's the thing. We have access to probably one of the most expensive things in the entire game, being infinity. We have a cow over here who is just producing infinity. And in fact, he's going to continue to produce infinity. We're up to 18 buckets now. As I kind of sit and wait for chickens to be done, it's going to just produce. So eventually what we're going to probably end up doing is dumping everything into EMC and turning that into whatever we want. And the infinity is probably going to be something that's really good for that. Now, if we wanted to have a little bit more control over what we make, the transmutation table is where that's at. However, that is still a ways away. One, we would need to make the extreme crafting table, which is not that far away, but we'll do another time. So that is going to be it for today's episode. With the energy condenser, we can have a little bit more freedom in what we want to do. But I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and actually do some building and get all of this stuff set up. We have all these seeds. We need to start running those and get the chickens all set up and running. We'll probably end up using conduits. That might be the best option for us. We'll see. I'll kind of decide how I want the coop to be and whatnot. The barn we just need to make. That will not be a problem. And the greenhouse shouldn't be too much of an issue. However, it is going to take a lot of space. So we'll probably hide most of it in the back or put it underground or something. I don't know. And then we'll have storage somewhere for all the stuff. So that is the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!